beautiful souls! Today I'm gonna show you a raw vegan recipe of the Korean kimchi in vegan version, which I made last year and we really loved it. So I decided I'm gonna make this year again. It's actually super rich in probiotics and it's really good for you. You can add it to the salads, you can cook with it, but of course we prefer to keep it raw so we can enjoy all its benefits. To start with, we need 1 head of Chinese cabbage that I already split into 4, and I took off all the layers from the outside, which were quite rough, so I kept just the very gentle inside. Next you want to do is to put salt between each single leaf. You can use either Himalayan or sea salt, and we will leave it stay like this for a couple of hours. Meanwhile, while the cabbage is getting ready, I'm going to soak some seaweed. I'm gonna use dry wakame, but you can use any kind of seaweed you have handy. You can use nori or dulce or anything that you find. The reason we are gonna use seaweed is just to bring this fish flavor to the kimchi, because usually in the recipe is used fish sauce, which we want to avoid. So I'm just gonna use a little bit of water to soak the wakame, and I'm gonna leave it to sit together with the kimchi, and we'll come back to it in a couple of hours. 2 hours later, look at this! Look at the cabbage, how much smaller it has become. The salt helped it to soften and become much more easier to work with, and our wakame has grown like 10 times, perhaps more, even more than that, but we are not gonna use actually the seaweed, we will just use the water. Okay, next thing we want to do now is actually put everything together, all our ingredients. I have already washed off the Chinese cabbage very well because we don't want all this salt actually inside the kimchi. I'm gonna use like 3 small carrots, a small onion. I have here also a little bit of ginger, half a radish, 2 cloves of garlic, and some fresh onion. This is the water after I strained it from the kimchi that we are going to use, and we're gonna add to it a little bit of soy sauce, some hot pepper, you can use cayenne pepper, and some paprika. The original recipe actually uses only hot pepper, but I find it too spicy, so what I did last year, and I really liked it, I combined both sweet paprika and hot red pepper, and it came out simply amazing, so I'm just gonna do the same this time. For yourself, you can just use both in whatever ratio you prefer. Just make sure you try the sauce before you continue with the recipe, so that you know that you like it. Okay, I'm gonna cut all the other ingredients. Usually you can just chop everything in a blender, but I really wanted to do this by hand this time, so I'm gonna chop the garlic, the ginger and the onion into very small pieces. The radish and the carrots I'm gonna cut into small sticks very thinly, and the onion I'm just gonna cut regularly to add on to everything. Okay, now it's time to make our sauce, which we will add on to the vegetables that we already cut. I forgot to mention that I'm actually using the recipe of a very lovely YouTuber. She has a lot of vegan recipes. Her channel is called Mary's Test Kitchen, and she originally adds on some thickener to the sauce, which I'm not gonna do now because I didn't do it last year, and it came out excellent without it, so I feel just to use everything in its raw version. So I'm adding the hot pepper and the paprika, and I'm just gonna add a teaspoon, actually a tablespoon of soy sauce. To this quantity you also want to add a teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna try to use a little bit less though, but you still want to make sure that the fermentation goes properly, so you want to add neither too little, neither too much salt. Next, I'm just going to add the sauce to the vegetables, and I'm simply going to stuff the cabbage with the vegetables in between, and I'm gonna start arranging that in a jar. Here's our kimchi. It's almost ready. I tried to arrange all the vegetables quite tight so that there is no air. You want to leave this for 24 hours outside with the cap open a little bit. My cap here in this case is plastic, it's not closing so well, so I'm just gonna keep it closed. And after 24 hours you can put it in your fridge, and you can preserve it that way for quite a few months. The taste that comes along is very unique. It's a little bit or more spicy depending how you prefer to do it, and it really adds on amazing flavor to your dishes, especially in the winter when we're craving for more salty foods and more fulfilling things. I hope that you like this recipe, and if you do, please like the video, share, subscribe to our channel, and if you wish to have more of these, you can also connect with us through our Patreon community. Thank you, and we'll see you soon in another video.